Max Verstappen's racing style and approach have made him one of the most talked about drivers in Formula One, with diverse opinions about him. While some sees his aggression as a strength, others see it as reckless. Let's take a look at what F1 legends think of Verstappen's driving style. Verstappen's talent and dedication cannot be denied. He pushes himself and his car to the limit, always seeking to extract every ounce of performance possible. This relentless pursuit of excellence is a key aspect of his success. But Verstappen is more than just an aggressive driver. He is also a cerebral racer who has learned from his mistakes and adjusted his approach accordingly. This adaptability is a hallmark of great drivers, and it bodes well for Verstappen's future in the sport. As for what the legends of Formula One think of him, opinions are varied. Some see him as a future world champion, while others caution that he must be careful not to let his aggression get the better of him. Here are what F1 legends think of the Dutch driver's driving style. Max Verstappen's early entry into Formula One at the age of 17 sparked intense debate in the motorsport world. Many former drivers, including two-time world champion Mika Hakkinen, were skeptical of his ability to handle the pressure and risk involved in competing at such a high level at such a young age. Hakkinen in particular voiced his concerns, stating it's too young because in F1 the risk is high. In F1 you don't go to learn, you have to be ready. F1 doesn't allow you to do too much learning. However, Verstappen quickly proved his critics wrong, demonstrating a level of maturity and skill beyond his years. He notched up numerous impressive performances, including a victory in his first race for Red Bull Racing. Reflecting on his initial skepticism, Hakkinen admitted that he was wrong about Verstappen. He said, "I criticized him personally when he was entering Formula One, thinking he was too young, but I was really happy I was wrong." Hakkinen acknowledged that times have changed and young people are entering higher level sports and other fields earlier than in the past. He also noted that the level of organization and management in F1 teams had improved significantly. However, he emphasized that success in the sport still requires exceptional talent, commitment, and discipline. Verstappen, he said, has demonstrated all three, as evidenced by his 2 F1 World Championships. Hakkinen concluded Max obviously has done a great job, and indeed, Verstappen's remarkable rise from teenage prodigy to two-time world champion is a testament to his exceptional abilities and the effectiveness of the Red Bull Racing team. After Max Verstappen won his first Formula One championship, he was widely hailed as the sport's future king by many, including Formula One legend David Coulthard. Coulthard praised Verstappen's exceptional talent and likened him to the likes of Ayrton Senna and Michael Schumacher, who were also brilliant and divisive figures in the sport. In a dramatic moment of the season, which occurred in Abu Dhabi a year ago, Verstappen demonstrated his ability to maintain his composure under pressure. Coulthard acknowledged Lewis Hamilton's impressive record of winning multiple championships in a clean way, but noted that Verstappen has had to come up with a different approach due to the might of Mercedes and Hamilton. Coulthard explained, his approach is whenever there is a door partially open, he'll go for it. And Lewis has to keep opening up the door because he knows he's coming, and that's got in the psyche of Lewis. Verstappen's aggressive and assertive racing style has not only earned him many fans, but also put him in contention for multiple championships in the sport. Coulthard believes that Verstappen's approach is a key factor in his success and sets him apart from other drivers on the grid. Nico Rosberg, the 2016 Formula One world champion, has recently shared his thoughts on the current state of Formula One and the drivers who are competing in the sport today. Rosberg has spoken highly of both Hamilton and Verstappen and the way they approach racing, noting that they are both drivers who push the boundaries and give their all on the track. However, when asked to choose between the two, Rosberg was quick to highlight the strengths of Verstappen. He said, "I think Verstappen is the strongest right now because of his combination of speed, aggression, and intelligence. He's been driving so well, and he's really matured as a driver. He's not making as many mistakes as he used to, and he's learned how to manage a race." Rosberg went on to explain that Verstappen's ability to manage the pressure of the championship battle and maintain his focus is what sets him apart from the other drivers in the sport. He said he's so good under pressure and he doesn't let anything distract him. He's very focused and he's able to stay calm when things aren't going his way. That's a very rare quality to have, and it's what makes him such a strong driver. Despite Rosberg's praise for Verstappen, he also acknowledged that Hamilton is still one of the best drivers in the sport and that he has a tremendous amount of respect for him. Pedro Martinez de la Rosa's extensive Formula One career has given him a unique perspective on the sport, and his opinions carry weight. He has spoken highly of Max Verstappen, describing him as an all-round driver with exceptional qualities. De La Rosa believes that Verstappen has what it takes to become one of the greatest Formula One drivers of all time. The Spanish driver admires Verstappen's skills and describes him as a smart, aggressive, and fast. He believes that the Dutchman possesses all the necessary attributes to succeed in the sport and is confident that Verstappen's future is bright. He said, "Max is fantastic to watch. He is smart, aggressive, and fast. Max is all in one. I think Max has everything it takes to become one of the best of all time in Formula One. He has all the qualities, that's for sure. Only time will tell which teams he will drive for and how competitive those teams will be in the next 10 years. But Max has everything it takes to become the best." According to De La Rosa, Max Verstappen is the most talented Formula One driver competing in the sport today. Verstappen and Leclerc were the two main protagonists for the 2022 F1 title, and when comparing the two drivers, De La Rosa held a great appreciation for both of them, but ultimately decided to go with Verstappen because of his experience and maturity in the sport of racing. De La Rosa added, "I think they are comparable in terms of raw speed. They are very fast, especially over a lap, and on top of that, they are very clever. The biggest difference is that Max is much more in control. He really doesn't make any mistakes, and I don't even mean a spin or a crash. But how often do you see him lock a wheel?" Mario Andretti is a motorsport legend who has achieved what only one other driver has accomplished before him, winning races at the Formula One, IndyCar, and NASCAR levels, as well as the World Sports Car Championship. As a champion himself, he knows a thing or two about what it takes to win. In a recent interview, Andretti praised Max Verstappen for successfully defending his title and expressed his confidence that the Dutch driver will continue to dominate the grid for some time. When asked about Verstappen's strengths as a driver, Andretti commented that the Red Bull driver is now a fully polished competitor. He stated, "He's where he needs to be right now. I mean, he's complete. That's all I can say. When he is so capable in qualifying, that's a premium when you start up front in Formula One. And then his racecraft is superb. Of course, a lot of credit to the team there because the strategies are always right on. When you have all that going for you, that's it." According to Andretti, Verstappen is a perfect example of an F1 world champion. He believes that Verstappen's greatest strengths lie in his ability to qualify well and in his exceptional racecraft, which is due in part to the strong strategies of the team. Andretti also praised Verstappen's overall completeness as a driver, indicating that he is capable of dominating the grid for a long time to come. With such praise coming from a motorsport legend like Andretti, it is clear that Verstappen's star is continuing to rise, and he is well on his way to becoming one of the all-time greats of Formula One racing. Max Verstappen, the current Formula One world champion, has hinted that he may not be in the sport for the long haul. His current contract with Red Bull Racing, worth around $220 million, is set to expire in 2028. When asked about his plans beyond that, the Dutchman said, "It can be a long time, but in the end, I don't see myself driving until I'm 40 because I want to also do other stuff." However, former Ferrari driver and Formula One legend Felipe Massa believes that Verstappen will continue racing for a long time. He thinks Verstappen's love for racing will keep him on the track well beyond his 30s. Massa said, "It's always easy to answer questions like this after you've won a title, but Max just loves racing. He's really not going to stop when he's 31 or 32. Of course, it depends on whether the car is competitive and whether it can compete for the title." Massa also praised Verstappen's driving abilities and believes he has the potential to become the greatest driver in Formula One history. "I can say that Verstappen is in the top 5 of the best drivers of all time, but he can easily become number 1. He has all the necessary talent just like Senna, Fangio, Schumacher, and Hamilton." Massa's praise for Verstappen's talent is certainly not unwarranted. Since joining Formula One at the age of 17, Verstappen has become one of the most successful and exciting drivers on the grid. He has won 2 world championships and has shown an aggressive no-holds-barred driving style that has drawn comparisons to legends like Michael Schumacher and Ayrton Senna. Whether Verstappen decides to retire early or continue racing into his 30s and beyond remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, he has already cemented his place in Formula One history as one of the all-time greats. Now over to you. What's your thought about Max Verstappen's driving style? Let us know in the comments section below.